All right, with the flavor of Goa, Goan authentic music is what gets us on the road to the vintage car rally here in Shikali, Goa. We are at the Panchayat grounds in Shikali, and as you can see all around, vintage cars from all around Goa and all around India as well coming to Goa to celebrate Goa Liberation Day and the vintage car rally. We've got music, we've got color, we have a sense of festivity and lots more right here. The Honorable Minister for Transport, Mr. Marvin Godino, is flagging off the vintage car rally. Cadillacs, Mercedes-Benz, Fiats, Ambassadors, Chryslers and lots more to be seen, to be cherished and to be enjoyed here at the Liberation Day Vintage Car Rally in Shikali, Goa. I'm Savio de Noronha and we have lots more coming up. All right, on Goa Liberation Day 2022, I have the honor of having with me Honorable Minister for Transports and Panchayats in Goa, Shri Marvin Godino. So, Minister, sir, thank you for joining us. And it's a brilliant Liberation Day function that you've got organized here. Tell us, what's your message to the people of Goa?
See, these are times when we should move forward in a beautiful manner. And if I look at the awards what we have got given by India Today, first among the smaller states in various facets of development. I think that is testimony to how much Goa is progressing, especially under our government and under leadership of Dr. Pramod Sawant and the performance of the entire cabinet. I think never Goa has seen such awesome development as it is happening now. Whether it is the airport, whether it is the new bridge at Zuari, which is going to be shortly inaugurated, whether it is previously third bridge which came up at Mandovi. If you see the entire developmental activities taking place in entire Goa, I think there is a sea change, and I think people are visualizing. Like I have my friends coming after 5 years, after 10 years. Oh, this is Goa. We can't believe it, they are saying. Means nowhere in the country such development has taken place. So I think it is something really nice what is happening. And besides the development, what is most important, government also has given schemes, has not forgotten the poor. Every time there are new schemes being launched. Now Dev Darshan also was there. Even to worship God, government is helping. So what more would you want? Yeah.
All right, and as the Honorable Minister has said, the Zuari Bridge is coming up in just a few days, and the right moment, I guess, because he has also been a large part and instrumental in organizing the Liberation Day Vintage Car Rally. Minister, sir, your thoughts on this? You yourself are a passionate car lover, and as the Minister for Transport, you had this brilliant idea to have a lovely rally of these vintage cars. It's sort of like preserving the past for the present.
See, one can never forget the past. This is recollecting, sort of getting to the fore what were the cars in the past. For people to know the classic cars, the vintage cars, heritage of ours should be well known. So while we would like to move in very modern cars nowadays, but let people also see what were the cars then. Some people are so passionate about their vintage cars or their classic cars. Even I am very passionate to see them. What better thing than to organize a vintage car rally on the 62nd Goa Liberation Day function. I think it is something which showcases actually what is Goa. Right from the vintage time, for the olden times to the modern times. We are such people and a God blessed place that everybody loves to be here. Everybody loves to see things. And now you have of all the things a vintage car rally. It's awesome, I should say.
And one last question, talking about vintage cars and people who are passionate about the cars. Have you any nice offers for them as the Minister for Transport? How to preserve and protect their cars?
I think Honorable Union Minister Nitin Gadkari ji has already said that they will not be penalized as to paying high taxes and other formalities that they have to undergo to maintain their cars. Even we will be giving the same relaxation. In fact, I am moving the file for them.
Fabulous. Yeah. Thank you, Minister, and have a nice Liberation Day.
Thank you. Wish you the same.
There you go, Honorable Minister for Transport, Shri Marvin Godino, speaking to us on Goa Liberation Day 2022, and right here at the Vintage Car Rally, which is so fabulous and about to be flagged off by the Honorable Minister.
at the Chikali Panchayat grounds in this very scenic village on Liberation Day. We are at the second edition of the Goa Liberation Day drive, and I have with me the proud owner of this beautiful beauty that I'm standing in front of. A very warm welcome to Goa, Dr. Ravi Prakash.
Thank you. I'm Dr. Ravi Prakash. I'm the president of the Federation of Historic Vehicles of India. And for me, this event is very, very special because a very dear friend of mine, Jitendra Deshprabhu, he and me were very, very close. And then he was the one I sort of got him to get this club organized a few years back, and he is no more with us. May God rest his soul. We are happy. We are from Bangalore. We are happy that we are here with one of our cars, which is one of our prized cars. And I'm also here with my wife, Sabina. And both of us came in day before yesterday to take part in this event. We are very happy that we are on a Liberation Day of Goa, and we wish very best to all the organizers who have done painstakingly a wonderful job in association with all the government agencies, and also the press who really, making it known to the country and to the world that not only you celebrate, but this historic vehicles have been projected across the country, that how these historic vehicles are also being looked after in Goa. Thank you.
Sir, how long have you owned this beauty? And you're also a collector of various other vehicles. Tell me something about your car, which is here at the Vintage Car Rally today.
This is a 1953 186 Mercedes. I don't know, this is one of the rare cars. This has been with us for, this is actually a recent edition, but we have the whole lot of her sisters and brothers which are all been there over last 40 odd years. And I've been a collector for a long time with a decent collection of cars and motorcycles. More than that, my passion is shared by my family, my wife Sabina and my daughters Rupali and Shifali, which probably we are the only family in the country and across the globe who are really into historic vehicles. And I represent India in the world body called FIVA, and my daughter also represents the youth in the World Forum. So we not only take part in the events in India, but we do take part in events across the globe. And we are very proud and happy with the collection what we have. But more than that, bringing families together to the events, that has been our motto. Getting the families, getting friends, everybody involved. And my daughter especially is involved in getting the younger generation involved, because usually these kind of collections, the parents, the heirlooms, the youngsters may not be interested. They are more into modern cars. But we are really getting the families involved so that the youngsters are also get involved, so that these cars can be maintained, in the years to come. Also, now we've been working very hard to get the policies sorted out for the scrappage policy and also this. So we've been working very close with the Ministry of Highways and Transport, Mr. Nitin Gadkari. But we also know that there is some more that we need to do. The Federation has been working on it.
So wonderful to talk with you. I mean, you're doing so much, with your family and making families, it's part of their collection. We have a very few people, as passionate as you are about something like this, and we wish you and your family and your team all the very best, and we hope we'll see you, at the backbone for more of these events. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
All right, nice to have you with us here at the Vintage Car Rally on Goa Liberation Day. We are in Shikali, a beautiful village close to the port city of Vasco. And I'm pleased to have with me an owner of a really beautiful vintage car, a Peugeot 1960 model. And let's meet Rui Araújo, who is the proud owner of this car. Rui, tell us, how proud are you to have this car in and around your house?
I'm really proud to have it running in the first place. I thought it was its end about 3 years back, and even before that, I thought that was another end about 8 years back. when it had problems with the shaft, it had problems with the gear shift, and somehow I didn't give up. I went to the extent of even contacting my friends. A good friend of mine from Dublin, Mr. Goenka, he helped me out with certain parts, and he managed to give me, and it is still rolling, and I'm happy about it. It is thanks to my father and uncle who maintained that car.
Okay, we got to know when did he actually sit in this car? Maybe he was just 10, 12 years old. It has come down generations. So, Rui, tell us your memories about first sitting in this car and going around town with your father and uncle.
I was made to sit in the car maybe or carried in that car when I was maybe just got out of the hospital maybe.
Oh, wow.
About a week later I was born maybe. And from then on we have this vehicle. They had even decided to sell this vehicle about 15 years later and buy an ambassador. But finally they decided not to. And they never bought the ambassador but maintained this after having the engine overhauled and all that. Did the complete maintenance somewhere in the 80s and it is still running after me getting into it. Yeah, I'm a vintage and classic car lover and I like driving old cars.
Now let's get inside your car
Uh-huh.
and get a feel of your car, how it feels. We want to know what are your memories about driving the car. So we are inside the Peugeot 1960 model belonging to Rui Costa Araújo from Shikali. And if my camera person can pan the camera on the logo of the family there, Familia Araújo. Tell us about this logo. When did it come about and when did you get it fixed in the car?
This is recently, just about 2 months back, that my friend had visited Rome, or Portugal, sorry, and he gifted to me. So I decided to have it on the Peugeot.
Okay, superb. And tell us how is it sitting in this car? The feel of the steering, the feel of the hand gears and stuff like that.
You could drive and see for yourself.
Yeah, but
It
tell
is
us
very,
from,
very comfortable drive. Even if I go to Panjim or Margao, I don't feel tired. But only because of the heat, because it doesn't have AC.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
But
It
it's
is
a relaxing drive.
relaxing drive and comfortable.
And,
Yeah, yeah.
and every time you drive, you must be going down memory lane and thinking how your family and your brothers and sisters, you all
Of
used to
course.
go around in this
Yeah,
car.
yeah. We were in all about 11 or 12 sitting in this car, even coming back from school and going to school. There was always place for one more in the car.
Awesome,
With my
awesome.
uncle or my driver who used to be driving. Anyone on the way who wanted a lift, he was also fitted inside.
Oh.
So there was always place for one more.
Yes.
It was used as a hearse, it was used as an ambulance, and for various other purposes.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. And
So
in
it
the
was a
older days,
multi-purpose car.
yeah, multi-purpose. They have taken accident victims and all such people. And even remember the car was full of blood at one time, and we had to take it for a wash at a well.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but besides that, surely there are many weddings that happen where brides from your family house.
Yeah. My
have,
cousins. It was my dad's wedding car. First of all, it was bought in January 4th or 5th, something
Okay.
of 1960. Immediately was my father's wedding. It seems in the month of April, 30th April.
Yeah.
After that, soon after that, my cousin had got married. It seems.
Okay.
Yeah. And this was also the wedding car for her wedding.
Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. And finally, tell us about the dashboard. How does it feel when you are driving? At what speeds do you go or used to go?
Now, earlier it used to be crossing 100, 120
Wow.
that time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I don't take it beyond 70.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where do you go around Goa? You go to Panjim as well often?
At times,
with the car?
at times.
Okay.
To give it a long drive, I take it to Panjim after every maybe 2 months or 3
Alright.
months.
Okay.
Or sometimes to Margao for a longer drive. Yeah,
Super.
that's it. Yeah.
So before we sign off, look into the camera, Rui, and as the proud owner of your car, surely you can tell passionate fans of vintage cars. Maybe you can invite them for a drive
course.
someday if possible.
Thank
Come
you.
on, look into the camera and
Yeah,
tell
yeah.
them.
Everyone and anyone is welcome into this car. Yeah. And it is a pleasure drive, first of all. And I'm happy the engine and everything still steady. and moving. Yeah. I got
Great.
it repaired just about 1.5, 2 years back. Yeah. Totally with the brakes and everything. Yeah. And I'm happy about it.
Awesome.
Thanks
So
to
Rui
you.
Costa Araújo there meeting us at the Vintage Car Rally in Chicali, Goa. Welcome to Shikalim, right here, this beautiful quaint village where we are having the Goa Liberation Day Drive 2022. And right here we have Mr. Manjunath Pai Dukle, and he is here with this lovely Leyland truck right here, nice big red fire truck. So Mr. Manjunath, very simple question. A lot of people collect cars and we see so many cars, but you're one of the unique persons right here with a truck. So why?
I've always wanted to be unique. Actually, the fact is, these trucks are disappearing from Goa. We had a legacy of various models and various trucks. People started giving them in scrap. So I thought, like, everybody's collecting cars, so I thought of going ahead and collecting these trucks.
Collecting trucks.
Yeah.
That's a very nice thing heard right here by Mr. Manjunath. And another question, so can you tell us something about Leyland? Leyland has always been synonymous with trucks here in India and in Goa. So what made you pick a Leyland?
I have a fleet of trucks. I have got different. Yeah. This time I bought Leyland. Leyland, apparently India was always dominated by Tata and Leyland.
Correct.
And the sound of these engines, I've grown with this sound. I used to travel to school. I used to take lift from one of my dad's friend. He had a same 350 Leyland truck. So nostalgia.
Nostalgia, definitely. Well, a big thank you to you, Mr. Manjunath, and all the best in procuring some more trucks and keeping this tradition and the heritage alive. Thank you very much. Well, I don't know if you remember, there was a car in a movie called Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and it looked a lot like this 1933 Morris. In fact, here at the Vintage Car Rally, this is the oldest car on display and run and owned by the youngest owners, Brendan and brother Keith. Hi, welcome to Doordarshan, and tell us a little bit about your passion for cars.
So my passion for cars began when I was a kid, when my dad used to take me around, to see vintage cars. So it was always a dream for me to own a vintage car. And I finally had the opportunity back in 2018 when I bought this car.
Okay.
And it took me about a year to restore it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it must have been a labor of love because it really looks quite nice and well restored, if I may say so.
Yes.
What is the biggest challenge that you faced in restoring, this car?
The biggest challenge was about the parts, so we had to import them. And the time was, around 5 to 6 months to import parts. Yeah, so that was the biggest challenge.
So the Cadillacs, of course, that started off their journey on the roads way back in 1906. I think that was the first company to start off with passenger cars or closed cars. And we are fortunate enough to have Mr. Vivek Goenka here with us, whose passion started when he was in college. Vivek, it's really nice to have somebody who's bought a vintage car when even before you could get out of your teens. Tell us about that journey.
Well, my journey with cars started when I was 8 years old. I used to drive my own Fiat to school, and I've still saved that car.
You used to drive your Fiat when you were 8 years old?
Absolutely.
Oh, fantastic. No RTOs and all at that time?
Well, I used to sit in the passenger seat and put my feet across and drive it, so nobody knew outside. I shouldn't be saying these things, but that's the truth. So the love affair with the automobile began because I was the single child with no siblings. And when I got a chance to buy a lovely Bentley when I was in college, I managed to pick that car up with a little bit of earnings of mine and restored the car myself. So I even learnt my restoration there. And that's when the bug for vintage cars bit me. Today, I'm reputed to be one of the finest restorers in the country. And it started with that Bentley. And the collection also started with that Bentley.
How difficult was it at that time, when you said you started restoration, learning about cars, the automobiles at that time, without YouTube manuals and online tutorials?
So it was difficult. We had to use a lot of common sense and general knowledge that we had picked up over time. and of course write to people, get hold of photographs. I mean, what we could do today in hours in those days took months, but we managed. We didn't do everything right, but we kept improving. If you had the passion, as you know, quality is never a destination, it's a journey. So we kept doing that over and over again. It's not just me. Many people who fell in love with the automobile and wanted to have a purist vintage car, they did all this with a lot of difficulty. Plus, we had the help of experts who would travel the globe. Like Maharaja Manvendra Singh of Barwani, India's only known historian. He's the only judge from India on the Pebble Beach, one of the finest events in the world and one of the most prestigious events in the world. So people like him we spent time with to learn. We went to his garage and learned from all his good work and from his mistakes. So, everybody came up together. And the internet, of course, made life very much easier.
You have quite a collection of your Cadillacs, but apart from that, any others that you...
I have a very wide, varied range of cars in my collection, starting from very inexpensive Fiats, Indian Fiats that I bought at 20,000 a car, right up to very expensive Rolls Royces and Bentleys and things like that. So for me, the mark doesn't hold value as much as any nice automobile with interesting engineering or interesting history.
Mr. Vivek, tell me about your Sundays. I think that's one day dedicated to your vintage cars.
Generally, yes. Most of the Sundays are dedicated, and we generally, people who never wake up till 11 in the morning, I have a lot of friends. But on a Sunday morning, they're all up at 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock, we are at the coffee shop. So you call it OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, call it crazy, call it stupid, call it mad, but it's a passion that, you have to be a little beyond normal to enjoy that passion.
And beyond your car collection, is there any one car that you would like to add to your collection? I'm sure you have some of the well-known brands, but just in case you have that, maybe I need to get that one.
Well, the only car that is missing that I would love to have is a Mercedes Gullwing, a Mercedes 300 Gullwing, made in the mid-50s. Nobody has one in the country yet. I don't think I'll be the first, so I think I just leave it as a dream.
Fantastic. All right. Thank you so much, Vivek, for sharing your time and, of course, so much of insight into this passion that you have. And I wish you all the very best, and hopefully your dream comes true of having the car of your dreams.
Thank you very much indeed.
So have you been for a vintage car rally before, and how excited are you to be there for this one?
This is my first rally. In fact, last year rally was there. My son attended that, Sharma, so he attended the rally. I'm very excited. This is my first rally.
And you have a 21-kilometer very scenic route that you're going to be going on. And tell us more about this passion of yours, sir.
Childhood, I had a dream of owning Mercedes, but that time it was difficult to own one because these cars were not made in India. So that dream it's now being converted.
And you're sending this passion across to your family, and they are being infected with it, Sharma?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so this is this vintage car. How do you maintain it? And that's your passion and that's your hobby. What do you do to keep it sparkling?
Very difficult to maintain. You have to give a lot of time. Plus parts and all our parts, mechanics are not available. Luckily, I got one mechanic, Mr. Vinci from Amey, so I'm indebted to him. Because of him, the car is in running condition.
Yeah, I've seen him go very often to the garage. So almost once a week, for sure, he'll be there.
So you're taking more care of your baby than your other things at home, I'm sure.
This is the hobby, my hobby and passion, like owning a
star. It is like you can see the sparkles in his eyes when he's taking care of these cars, when he's talking about them, when he's driving them. And I think pretty sure most of the time he's only thinking about the cars. And
what adventures do you remember you've had in your cars? And are you a collector? You have many more of them.
This one also is another.
This we just got recently on a Diwali day. This is 1984 240 diesel. And this is 1972 200 petrol. So these two are enough. There is no more space in the house. One more car and then I'm out of the house. My wife will drive me out of the house.
Yeah, they would say either you or the car. Yeah, thank you so much for being part of the vintage car rally, and all the very best. Do well, and yeah, let's hope to see you for more such events. Thank you.
We are here today with Darshan, the very proud and beaming owner of this beautiful car, to talk to us here at Darshan. Darshan, hi.
Good morning, Alfie. How are you?
Very well. And how's the day been so far?
Very nice. I just drove it in from North Goa for about an hour.
Okay.
And I was hitting speeds of about 120. So she's in good shape.
Oh my gosh.
And I had a lot of fun on the new highway.
Oh, fantastic. And since when do you have owned this Volkswagen?
I owned this car for about 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
Also a small correction. This car is actually called the Kamat Gia.
Okay.
It wasn't actually built in the Volkswagen factory. Gia was the company in Italy that styled it. That's why you see it was very sleek and beautiful proportion.
Absolutely.
And because these were very low volume cars, and Volkswagen was a Volkspeople's car,
correct,
they made very high volume. They contracted these cars to a company, which was a specialist hand builder called Kamat. So it was actually built in the Kamat factory and not the Volkswagen factory.
Now, this kind of information you will only get from a passionate car enthusiast, and we are happy to have Darshan with you. I'm happy to stand corrected, and tell us a bit more about any unique experiences you may have had driving this car.
So when I bought it, it arrived in Goa, and I was very excited, and I told my wife we must take it out immediately. So we went out for a short spin in the night, and she was bursting away and firing and dying and all kinds of crazy, and all the dogs were chasing us because it was like this funny monster that was screaming out. But mechanically it's in beautiful shape now. I still want to do some work on the body and other things. It's a very unique car. There's only about 200 left in the world.
Oh wow.
1967 is the most desirable.
Yes.
And right-hand drive, I think there are only about 16 left in the world. That's quite a unique car, yes.
You mean the rest are all left-hand drive?
Out of the 200, the rest are left-hand drive. And no, I stand corrected. 16 of year 1967 in the world, 200 right-hand drives and about 1800 left-hand drives.
Okay. That's really privileged information to get at this rally. Do you take part in many rallies? Is this your first?
No, I've tried to do most of them in Goa because everybody in the Goa Vintage and Classic Club is friends, so they put in a lot of effort, and it's nice to come here, see the other cars, see how people have restored them, meet the other owners. It's a bit of a fraternity, so it's nice to come and meet everyone.
Really wonderful, and I hope you find all the necessary parts to keep this beauty in shape and enjoy many more glorious, joyful rides.
Thank you so much. I hope to give you a ride in it one day.
Look forward to that. Thank you, sir.
You know what? I'm really excited because I'm about to be meeting up with the proud owner of this absolute beauty. It is a 1967 W115, and with me is none other than, of course, Viraj Don. Viraj, hi and good morning.
Good morning.
Viraj, tell us a little bit about this car. What's your passion? When did you get it? It's a 1967 model. You surely don't look like you're 1967, but I just want to understand when did this car, when did you buy this car?
Actually, the thing is, I picked it up like in 2018. It was owned by a retired army colonel. He was 81 at that time, and it was a single-owned car. And he had bought it in Europe when he was posted there. He drove it entirely around Europe, and when he came back to India, he brought the car back with him. So it was like a piece of his heart. So when he was giving me, also he was in 10 minds. Should I give it or no? Yes, no. He budged on the price, so that I say no. I just get back, but I thought that this is one of its kind because completely original, the interiors. A new car you can go in the showroom and buy, but a 1967 car with original leather inside is very rare.
So how did you actually meet up with the, Colonel? What was your research behind picking up this car? I'm sure there's a lot of thought that goes into it. Everybody present over here is, of course, a car lover. And in particular, vintage cars, this is absolutely beautiful. So why don't you tell us about how difficult was it for you to track? I mean, did you just wake up one morning and say, hey, this is the car that I want? Or how did it happen?
Actually, I had gone to Chennai because another friend of mine was buying another car, a Mercedes. So I was like there was no benefit for me. I took my own tickets and I said, I'm coming to take your car delivery there. So when we went there to take delivery, we met a group from our group, Mercedes group, another friend who said there's one nice car which is being unused for 5 years. And I can't track that owner. So I said, let's go and have a look at it. And by coincidence, we could get in touch with the owner. And the rest is history.
The rest is history, as you can see. And is this your only vintage car, or you have many more right here?
At the moment, I've got only this today, but I have a few. I'm still only 36, but I think I've got around 10 of them at least.
Oh my God, did you just hear that? He said 10 of them. Would you like to tell everybody viewing this show how many, or name a few very quickly, and which is your favorite?
I'm a diehard Mercedes guy. So this is the E-Class variant. There's like A, B, C, E, S-Class variant. So I'm trying to collect the entire E-Class range from the time it was launched, like from 1960, 1958. So I've got most of them in the lineup. Aside than the recent ones, all the older ones I have with me, and they're getting restored one at a time. It's heavy on the pocket also, so slow and steady as I get the parts. I'm sourcing in the right garages. So I hope next 2-3 years my range should be ready.
And listen, it may be heavy on the pockets, but it's a delight for everybody viewing, and I'm sure everybody would agree. So thank you very much. We wish you all the very best for getting many more such vintage cars, and cars that would be an absolute delight for everybody like me and you watching. So you can take away some fabulous, insights into what yesteryears look like.
Well, I'm here at the Vintage Car Rally with Praveen and his son Prabhav, and right in the middle you see the Hillman Minx, a real beauty from the past, and you are the proud owners. So Praveen, I believe you got the car and then now your son is looking after it. What is the story?
It belonged to my father.
Okay, so third generation.
Yeah, third generation.
Fantastic.
It was imported from England.
Right.
My father in 61.
Okay.
I've been running it for last 25 years or so.
Okay. And how long have you been in touch with the Hillman?
Yeah, so ever since I've been, I remember I've seen the car around in the house, but we should not drive it around. We should drive it around probably on occasions, once, twice a year.
Is it that you are not allowed to drive? Or?
No, it's more like as you can see, vintage cars are not maintained.
Yes.
And you cannot see them regularly running on the road.
Correct.
But so I have this privilege of staying in a joint family. So my father and uncle are equally passionate, and they have equal sentimental value for this car.
Okay.
So probably since last 10 years or so, we've been running it regularly.
Okay.
And we've been maintaining it, and so I have been fond memories, and more so to come.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what is the biggest challenge? Is it the parts, or is it just the overall maintenance?
It's definitely a task, especially for an English-made car.
Correct.
So the company is not running anymore. It belongs to a Roots group.
Okay.
So since the company is not running anymore, it's very difficult to gather all the parts.
Absolutely.
And most of them have to be imported, or you have to make some modifications. So it was more like, since my dad is passionate and he has this sentimental value attached, I think he makes some kind of arrangements and some modifications, and it's still running in the road. Besides this, we have Mercedes and a Beetle Volkswagen.
Oh, okay.
But those parts are available in
Correct, because their companies are running
yeah,
still. But
you get those parts in Bombay.
Hillman is now over the hill, as they say. And I'm sure there must be some unique incident from your memory that you recall, spilling ice cream on the back seat or something like that.
Oh, I have many. So in fact, on the day of Diwali, there is Lakshmi Pujan.
Yes.
So we take it out every year.
Okay.
In that day we have Lakshmi Pujan at our shop,
Right.
which is in Panjim itself. So I have many memories of going to Panjim and people just glaring and
staring
at the car, because it's a unique
Absolutely.
car. And yeah, so I have those peculiar memories attached. Yeah, so in fact, I remember I've seen photos of my dad, they've taken out this car.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that is very cut away.
So are these the original colors of the car? It was black. Okay. So, whose decision was it then to your decision? So, blue and white.
Similar color also, original.
I see. Okay, so you decided.
But blue and white.
Okay. Now, this kind of rally, I think, is a good thing. Yes.
So, the men will change these cars.
Correct.
For to get it for the rally, they make it dark.
Some of, yes, absolutely.
Very difficult to get mechanics.
Fantastic. Well, we hope that this passion and love for cars does continue, and we hope that we will see more cars added to your collection, and more people enjoy the beauties from the years gone by.
Very good morning. We are at the Goa Liberation Day drive of this vintage cars that we are seeing here at the Chikali grounds. It's a very beautiful sunny day, and I have a proud owner of the Morris Mini, Mr. Uttam Arwade, who's here from Belgium. A very good morning and welcome.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Sir, how long have you had
this is with us. This baby is with us for last 5 years. Last 5 years. Yeah.
And this was one of the most iconic British cars of the night.
Absolutely, the most sold and the most, other than the Beetle, this was the most sold and most iconic car.
And are you a collector of vintage cars?
Hoping to be. I started my collection. We've got some vintage motorcycles at in Belgaum, and this was my dream car, and it has come true. Picked it up in a scrap metal form last 5 years. Slowly, bit by bit, we have done it up, and hope so. It's appreciated and accepted the way it is right now.
Definitely. Sir, you are going to take part in this heritage rally, which is a 21-kilometer scenic drive through Chikali and through the Vasco area.
Yeah.
Have you been for rallies before?
We were here, we were representing with the same car last year. It was a small drive because of COVID restrictions, and this year we hope to make it much better and much better.
So what are your other hobbies other than collecting cars?
No other hobbies, only cars and motorcycles, that's it. No other hobbies, no passion. Only this is the passion, that's it.
That's a very passionate hobby, and thank you so much for being with us here today.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Good luck.
The minute I saw the Chevrolet 3100, the words of this song came to mind. So I drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. We're talking about American Pie, an iconic classical song, and so is this car, an American iconic classic. And speaking of class, I'm joined by Brigadier Harnal and his lovely wife Renu. Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Thank you. I noticed that you all expressed a keen interest in almost every car. What's the reason behind that, sir?
Yeah, you see, vintage is something which attracts you. These are cars we don't get to see nowadays, and it's a treat that we have these lined up here on occasion of Goa Liberation Day. It's a big occasion, and we are proud to be here and witnessing these cars. Like you mentioned, Chevy. I also was a owner of 2 Chevy cars, but unfortunately had to dispose them because GM closed down.
Yes.
Lovely cars. Chevys are great, and pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. What about you, ma'am?
I think I haven't ever seen a vintage rally so far in my life. This was the first time, and when I saw that it's being held in Goa, I just rushed to this place. And it's really a treat. We have so many cars, the Volkswagen, the Chevy, and the Mercedes, of course. I think they are mostly, these are the cars which are exhibited here. And it's really beautiful, different colors on a sunny morning. I think, and wish them all the best. They're going to go, I think, for 21 kilometers.
Yes.
And wish them all the best. And thanks to all the owners who have maintained them for us.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, so that, we really, it's a treat to the eyes. Thank you.
Not
it's been
at all.
lovely being here.
Do you drive as well, ma'am?
Yes, of course I drive.
So you drove the Chevy?
Yes, Chevy. In fact, I just disposed of the Spark. I had the Spark, and I think it was really nice. Before that, the Optra. But unfortunately, Chevy is no longer in the market. So, but I enjoyed the Spark.
Yes, as they say, once a Chevy owner, always a Chevy owner. Yes, and coming from the armed forces, loyalty is part of their DNA. So we thank you, sir, for giving us a few precious moments, and enjoy the rest of the program.
Thanks a lot. So nice of you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Jai Hind.
Okay, Leyland Buses is actually a British, bus as well as a train manufacturing company that was initially owned by the Rover Group but taken over by Volvo. And today we have a proud owner of two such amazing buses. In fact, one is a truck and one is a bus. And we are right in front of or beside this this vintage beauty, if I may call it. Sir, just introduce the vehicle to everybody who is...
This is original Leyland bus, 1961 model, short chassis. I got it from Hyderabad. It originally belonged to a medical college of Hyderabad, and this was a blood collection center in it. This was used for blood collection.
Okay, so since he said it's a blood collection bus, we actually did have a sneak peek inside, but sir, I'd love for you to take us inside. Let's take a look inside and see what exactly are the interiors of this space, because it looks quite different from the out, and it is actually quite different from in. So here we go. And like I said, come on in, crew. Would you like to take us right from the start?
Yeah.
The rev, check out that dashboard, and check out sir who's behind the wheel.
I have these original meters. They are getting, it has got a unique meter console which is getting restored. It has got square dials, which is very rare with Leyland.
So of course maintaining this beauty is quite challenging. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
I think I'm lucky to own this. So challenges are there when you want to own a beauty. You have to take her to parlor and maintain her. You know better than me.
Absolutely, sir. So once we're done with this, we'd love for you to show us the back end of the bus.
This is where the doctor is supposed to sit, I think so.
Okay, so this is basically a consultation bus.
Yeah, consultation plus they used to take blood samples. That it was written there.
Okay.
Blood bank and all that.
So on the back side?
Yeah. Then we have a small room.
There's a basin over here.
Yeah. Everything original.
So
I've not touched.
Where does the water get connected?
There was a tank here which has to be fitted back again. It had corroded. And then there is a collection tank below.
Okay. And as you can see, this is probably where all of the medicines were kept.
Yes.
And these are the two
beds.
bunks for the patients in there. So it's absolutely interesting and wonderful.
These are all storage places.
Nice.
And this had come originally built from Britain.
Okay.
The same way.
So for everybody who's tuned in, what is the one thing that you love about this bus?
The sound of the engine and the driving quality. It's nice. And it's short and sweet. Like, actually original plan was to convert this into a caravan, but then I thought original is original, let us leave it the way it is.
Yes, that's absolutely right, and thank you for preserving it. Well, if you think he's the owner of just two vehicles, one a truck and a bus, then you're absolutely wrong. You know, Mr. Pai's got lots more to tell us about. How many vehicles do you have in trucks?
As of now, I have got around 25 trucks and I mean 23 trucks and 2 buses, and the collection is growing.
So do you only love trucks, buses, no cars?
I've got jeeps also. I've got around 40 odd jeeps.
So do we have a look at them probably in the next rally that's around?
Yeah, the problem is drivers. I cannot get, I don't have reliable drivers to get them here. So every event I have to get 2 vehicles and call it a day.
So where have you come from?
I'm from Goa, South Goa.
Okay, so we are all Goans and we can just come and help you ride your vehicles anytime you want them. So if you would like to display jeeps, please do get them, and some more buses.
Planning some sort of a place wherein I will park all the vehicles and allow people to come and have it.
Yes, there's so many youngsters. In fact, forget youngsters, there's so many of us who haven't seen vehicles like this. And this is like a visual treat. This is like visiting, I don't know which kind of place where we can see so many vehicles. And when it's vintage trucks, it's something totally different. There are cars galore over here, but trucks and buses is a class apart. So this is brilliant. And you were just mentioning earlier when we chatted that you have the largest collection in India.
I think I have got the largest collection. I really don't know if there are more, but from what I see around on social media and everywhere, it looks like I've got some rare gems.
Okay, so wishing you that you have the galaxy, or like you can excavate the best of everything, and we can see lots more here. And remember, sir, the next time we are all around to help you drive your jeeps or your buses and get them here.
I invite you to see my vehicles once they are displayed. Right now they are shuttered all over. I have got them in 2-3 places. I have recently bought a place. I'm putting up a big shed. Then I'll display them and they'll be maintained also.
Hello everybody, once again we are here at the Goa Liberation Day Drive 2022 with all, as you can see, the Volkswagen Beetle. Now the Volkswagen Beetle, my dear friends, has been everybody's first bug. Whether you learned to drive in it, whether you went on your first date, whether you got married and your first wife was in it, whatever the case may be, the Volkswagen has always been synonymous with dependability and love. Peace and love, like how the hippies see it. And today, here with me, we've got Jesper Vaz, the owner of this wonderful 1967 Volkswagen Beetle. And we've got Clyde Peters here, who has driven this lovely little thing right here. And we're going to ask them a few questions. So, welcome, and thank you very much for giving us what we can see right here in front. So Clyde, tell us something about this beautiful bug.
So basically this car was basically in totally scrap condition. Now what you see, it's like perfectly been restored. So this has been restored in-house, so by Jesper. So what he has done is he has entirely dismantled the whole thing, and part by part he has taken up the restoration. So it's his passion of cars that he loves collecting cars. So this is not the only car that he has. He has many other collections. So he's also into bikes. So he's collecting rarest of rarest bikes. So he has within his collection.
Lovely. So Clyde, I saw you coming in driving this lovely bug. Wow, what does it feel? And would you choose this car over any of the modern cars, and why?
Right now, no. I mean, the love for the bug is totally, I mean, you can't describe it. It's like totally this thing. So, I mean, that feeling that you get when you drive and you see people looking at it is totally worth it. I mean,
it's a hit turner for sure, and the color and everything.
I brought this bug. We had a mini bus, and like every time I was feeling the bug is missing, the bug is missing, the bug is missing. So, okay, I got it in a very bad condition. Like, I didn't even look at the car when I bought it. I said, okay, just send it. I brought it to Goa. Then I started inch by inch, everything. I brought all the parts. It took me at least like 4 years to get some parts from and get it.
4 years, but I think today what we see is the outcome of labor and love. So a big thank you to you, Clyde, and an even bigger thank you to you, Jesper, for giving us this and restoring this so patiently. Cheers to your collection, and hope someday we get to meet personally and check out your entire collection. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Alright, so right behind me, as you can see, there are 10 Mercedes-Benz cars, and all of them pure vintage, looking absolutely stunning and spectacular. And one such person owns 4 of these amazing cars, and he's right here, and we're just about to ask him all about his 4 beautiful babies right here. So we're with none other than Mr. Pai Kakure.
Yeah,
Good morning.
Yeah.
Gautam Pai Kakure.
Yes.
Good morning, sir. You have 4 of these beautiful cars over here, and would you like to tell us and introduce each model to us? We can walk in and you can show us your cars. Come.
This is W123 240D 4-cylinder engine, 1980 model. This I purchased about 3 years back from Maharashtra. Okay. And this is about W123 300D 5-cylinder. This also I purchased 3 years back. About that vehicle, that is a 6-cylinder 1964 Pintail with power steering, AC, and that one is a 220S P. That was 1964.
So all of your cars have a peculiar number plate that is 9400.
Yeah.
Is anything with the number?
No, nothing like that. But my all vehicles, even new model Merc also with 9400. Those are my special and lucky numbers. So I just continue to get numbers for all the special numbers from RTO registration.
Okay, so he's a proud owner of these 4. And if I ask you which one of these is your favorite, could you tell all of our viewers?
That blue color is my favorite. That was my first car.
And because it's been your first car.
First car.
So when did you exactly buy that, sir?
That is in 2014. Yeah.
Okay, lovely. So is it these only 4 cars that you own right now? You have many more vintage cars.
Not vintage cars, new model cars, recent models. Total 7 Merc I am owning.
Wow, absolutely fabulous. And one question that probably everybody viewing would like to ask you is, how do you maintain these cars?
Maintain this car means every time there is a mechanic is required to get it from Maharashtra, Mumbai, and sometime from Pune also we hire the mechanic to restore the car and do the mechanical work also. I got my good friend, he is actually captain Air India. He retired and he has got a hobby of restoring the vehicles and also engine work also he takes care. His name is Mr. Sachin Ogle. He takes care of my vehicles as far as mechanical work is concerned. So he is doing that work. And is that every day you have to be after the vehicles to see that small minor problems are there. And we make sure that the vehicle is in running condition.
So it's thanks to people like him that, having this view of 4 amazing Mercedes-Benz is an absolute delight to everybody who's probably come here to look at the vintage cars. So thank you very much, sir, for your time. It's been a delight. Thank you.
Right here with me, I have Babu Kamat and his son Shriyank. Both father and son, passionate car lovers, but most importantly, Babu has been very instrumental in organizing this Goa Liberation Day vintage car rally. Babu, you surely are smiling and are a happy man with the success of this rally.
Absolutely, because we have a lot of participation today, and we are very happy that we've got so many participants who have come all the way from different places, including Goa, and all of them have come voluntarily. So what happens is it's really an achievement for the Goa Vintage Club. And we are also happy that the Minister of Transport, Mr. Bambino, has taken this initiative and called the people for the Vintage Festival.
Yeah.
So that is the whole idea about
So how long has it taken to get this organized? It's certainly not easy because 50 odd cars from Goa, from around the country, different owners, you have to get in touch with them. So how easy or how tough has it been?
See, this is the second edition. So last year we had a similar kind of thing, but it was on a little smaller scale. But people knew that we would be still doing this event again, and probably if at all government decides that they want to continue with this event again. So every year we can only see a lot of participation coming in from people. That is what we are looking at. The more we make people aware, the more number of participants we keep coming again and again for the event. So much more vehicles for the next year.
Yeah. For the benefit of vintage car owners and owners of cars which are old, so what is the criteria to be qualified as a vintage? How can people get there?
See, the government of India has already come up with a notification by saying 50 years and above, they are giving us a special registration. So which will commence very shortly in Goa with the help of the Department of Transport. This event has been organized in association with the Directorate of Transport. So with their help, we will surely get the vintage car registered which are above 50 years.
And you personally, how much time have you spent driving cars, maintaining them and getting people into the vintage cars?
This is a continuous activity all the time. So we have been there right from, we did the first event in 2016, and from that on we have been continuously having these events.
And this young man, your son Shriyank, you have something to say? You love cars already?
Yes, of course I love cars.
So which are your favorites?
There's no favorites. Every car is a favorite for me.
Wow, that's a nice question. But you're waiting to drive a car, must be. You're a few years away from
yes.
magic age, right?
Yes, definitely.
So say something to your friends who are looking at you in this interview. Say hi there and let's all love cars and drive them.
Hi guys, let's all love cars and drive them.
Shriyank Kamat there and Babu Kamat with the Vintage Car Association in Goa. So we'll let many of you join Babu Kamat and the likes of him in this association. Cheers, and Babu.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Hi Goa, we just enjoyed the vintage car rally here We are on the iconic Varnapuri Sada Highway. Behind me is the popular Baina Beach, and ahead you can see Grand Island. What a wonderful day it's been, with over 50 vintage cars on a 21-kilometer journey. We started off on a bright sunny morning. It's sweltering now, but beautiful sea breeze from the Baina area. From me, Oreena, here at this bridge, the Varnapuri Sada Highway. Thank you for joining me, Oreena, here on Goa's Liberation Day Drive, the Vintage Car Rally.
Vintage cars make us look back, and as we look back over the years, we see how Goa has developed beautifully. And right here, I'm on this beautiful bridge with a panoramic view, and it was wonderful to view all the cars that were there. There were Mercedes, there were Chevrolets, there were Volkswagen, and there was a 1933 Morris. This is Alfie signing off with the promise to be back with you very shortly.